Good morning, Year 8. We're going to carry on this week looking at algebra, and based on the feedback from last lesson, I think it would probably be wise if we spent another lesson on solving equations. So what I am going to do is I'm going to look back at the sheet that I set you on Friday and go through some of the questions on there now, because I know some of you were struggling a little bit. And I'll also show you a gold one and how you go about doing the gold ones for those that maybe do get it and want to just go on a little bit further. And then I've also set 2 Hegarty tasks for extra practice. I don't mind what you do. You can either do some more questions from the sheet, that's this sheet here, or you can do the Hegarty tasks. But I just ask that everybody spends up to an hour on this, including the time it takes you to watch my video now. And then by all means, feedback to me, comment on if you're okay with it or not okay with it, and from that I'll probably get a sense as to whether we can move on to the next bit of algebra that I want to do this week. So with that in mind, I've already gone through question 5 and 8 of each of the bronze and the silver. So I'm going to go over now basically question 1 and 2 of each of the first each of the bronze, silver and gold. Okay, I'm just going to do that now, and then you can either continue on with some more of this or have a go at the 2 Hegarty tasks that I have set you, which incidentally are numbers 179 and 180, but you should see that they have been set as tasks for you when you go on Hegarty. Okay, so let's give it a whirl then. So the first one then is 11x minus 5 equals 116. Let me write that down. So this is the first bronze question. Okay, and I'm going to do this in exactly the same way, set it out in exactly the same way as I did last week. So the golden rule, which we wrote down, is if you change one side, you must also change the other. So I'm going to change both of the sides in the same way. And the change I'm going to make, see if you can see what it's going to be before I make it. I'm going to write here what I'm going to do. Maybe you know what I'm going to do to both sides? I'm going to add 5. Why am I adding 5 to both sides? If you understand the answer to that question, then you're halfway to getting this. I'm adding 5 to both sides because adding 5 to this side will make the take away 5 disappear. Because adding 5 is kind of like the opposite of taking away 5. So when you do both of them, they cancel each other out. So by adding 5 to both sides, this side just becomes 11x. This side becomes 121, which is 116 add 5. Okay, so I did something to both sides. That is okay. This is still correct. Next thing I'm going to do is something to this side and this side, so that this side now just says x, which is what I'm trying to find. So I've got 11 lots of x. If I only want one lot of x, I would need to divide by 11. So again, I do it to both sides. So it's 11x divided by 11, which gives me just x. And it's 121 divided by 11, which gives me 11. Okay, moving on to the second one then. So the second one is 5x plus 5 equals 50. Okay, so what am I going to do to both sides? Well, very similar to the last one. I'm trying to deal with this plus 5 here. So I'm going to deal with him by taking away 5. And if I take away 5, that will just become 5x. And this will become 45. If you followed the last one, you'll know what I'm going to do next. I'm going to deal with this 5 here by dividing by 5. 45 divided by 5 is 9, and we're done. Okay, let's Let's move on to the silvers then. So question 1 of the silver is this one. Okay, now remember I can do whatever I like as long as I do it to both sides. Now the thing that's bothering me most when I look at that, getting on my nerves, is this divide by 9 here. Divide by 9 is complicated. I don't want it there. How can I get rid of dividing by 9? What's the opposite thing that's going to make it disappear? Dividing by 9. Do you know what the opposite to dividing by 9 is? Have a think. I'm going to write it here now. It's to times by 9. Because if I times by 9, multiply by 9, that 9 there will disappear. But of course I have to do it to the other side as well. And that will turn that into 27. Now, look at this here. It looks exactly the same as these ones. It's the same format. It's something with an X, then a number, and then an equals, and then another number. That means that having done that first step, I know what to do from now on. In fact, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to do it. You can watch me do it and see if you can follow what I'm doing. Ooh, I've got to add 27 and 53 now. A moment's panic. Oh no, I can do it. It's 80. Et voila! Okay, so one more to do. I said I was going to do question 2 next from the silvers, this one. But I've changed my mind. I'm actually going to have a go at question 4. And the reason I'm doing 4 rather than 2 is it looks slightly different. And I wanted to show you how you deal with this one here, which looks slightly different to question 2. So we've got x over 5 plus 6 is equal to 2. Here we go. Now, there are 2 different ways of doing this question. Both of them work. You can choose whichever one you like, but it's to do with the first step. You see, for my first step, I could get rid of the plus 6 by taking 6 away. Or alternatively, I could get rid of the divide by 5 by multiplying by 5. Now, I think I actually prefer the second one of those. But I think it's going to be easier for you if I do it the other way for today. And perhaps later on you'll learn how to do the other way, the way I actually prefer. And I think it's better in the long run. But for now, this method is perfectly okay. And it's to start in the same way, and it's to take away 6 from both sides. So I'm going to take away 6 from both sides. That will get rid of that 6 there. And, ooh, 2 take away 6. 2 take away 6. Now, I'm sure Miss has done some negative numbers with you. But if you've got 2 and you take 6 away, you know what you've got left? Minus 4. Okay, so 2 take away 6 is minus 4. Next, I've got to deal with this. I've got to divide by 5, and to get rid of a divide by 5, just like I got rid of the divide by 9 here, I will need to times by 5. So if I multiply by 5, minus 4 times 5, well, that's basically just like doing 4 times 5, but there's a minus sign on it, so it's minus 20. When you multiply a number that's negative by another number, then it's still negative. The only exception to that, and you might know this already, is when both the numbers are negative. 2 minuses make a plus is a phrase that you'll hear lots of maths teachers use. But that didn't apply in this case because there was just the one minus sign. So it's minus 4 times 5, which still keeps me minus 20. Right, pause in the video here because I would like those people that are maybe not 100% comfortable with this to leave it there. Make sure they've done all of the bronze and silvers if they can, and if they want to do something different to that, they could do the Hegarty tasks instead. Okay, in fact, it's entirely up to you whether you concentrate on this or you do the two Hegarty tasks, 179 and 180, which have been set for you on Hegarty Maths. If you're still with me though, you're here because you really do get this and you're comfortable with me very quickly starting you off on these golds here and how you do this type of equation, which are a little bit harder because the x's appear on both sides of the equal sign. So I'm just going to go through questions 1 and 2, which I gave you a hint last time as to how to do. But I'm actually going to do them now, and you can watch me do these if you're still with me. I know some of you might have gone away now. Well, you won't know I'm saying that, will you, if you've gone away? But for those of you that are still with me, here we go. 5x minus 36 equals 2x minus 9. Right, okay, that's the first one. And I said the first thing you should do is take away 2x. So I'll just write that and I'll just explain again why that is. So, with these ones, you've got x's here and here. And you don't want them on both sides. You want them just on one side. So what we do is we make one of these terms, as they're called, disappear by doing the opposite of it. So if I've got 2x and I want it to disappear, I could take away 2x. Okay? I could have made that one disappear by taking away 5x, but there were reasons why I didn't, which I'll come to on the second example. Okay? But I want to get rid of that, so I'm going to take away 2x. And the question is, and that's obviously on this side then, if I take away 2x, that disappears and I've just got minus 9 left. Okay? The question is, what happens on this side when you take away 2x? Well, to get the answer to that, you have to think back to earlier on last week when we were collecting terms. So I said that you get different types of term. You get x terms, you get y terms, you get terms that don't have an x or a y, and you can kind of combine them together. So what I'm actually asking you to do here by taking away 2x is to work out what 5x take away 2x actually is. And it's 3x. If I've got 5x and I take 2x away, I've now got 3x. And the minus 36 is still there. Once you've done that crucial first step, just like the ones I was showing you earlier, you are now back to the classic simple situation where you have something with an x, a number, and then it's equal to something else. So we know what to do from here, and I should just shut up and do it. Add 36 to both sides. Ooh, adding 36 to minus 9, that needs a little bit of thought. So if you add minus 9 to 36, so if you add 36 to minus 9, you get 27. Now you might need to think about that one, to think about why that is the case. So minus 9, add 36 is 27. Okay, and then finally I'm going to divide by 3. X is equal to 9. That's that one done. Okay, one more from me and then I'm definitely done. So the second one is 8x plus 4 equals 9x minus 2. Okay, so 8x plus 4 equals 9x minus 2. And once again, I've got x's on both sides, and I want one of them to disappear. Now, on the last one, I made the 2x disappear by taking away 2x. But on this one, I'm going to make this one disappear. Okay, now the reason I want to make this one disappear is because if I make this one disappear, then I will be taking 8x away from both sides. And it will mean that when I take 8x away from here, it's still positive. It doesn't go into the negatives. That is why I'm not choosing the 9x, because if I took away 9x from both sides, which I could do, that would disappear, but that would go negative. It's not a big problem, but it's easier to work with positive x's. So that is why I chose that one there, and it's why I didn't choose the 5x here, because if I'd have chosen to take away 5x from both sides here, then that 2x there would have gone into the negatives when I took it away. Alright, so just try and remember that little tip. Like I say, it does work if you don't know that. Right, so taking away 8x from both sides leaves 4 there. You don't need the plus sign now, you can just write 4 is equal to 9x minus 2, like that. Trying to get the x by itself, so I'm going to add 2 to both sides now. Get rid of that there. I'll have 6 equals 9x, like so. I've gone wrong, haven't I? Sir has gone wrong because he forgot, sorry, to take away the 8x here. So that's actually just an x now. Silly me. Okay, so sorry, I'll just go over that again because I've messed it up. So taking away 8x from both sides means that the 8x disappears there, and the 9x there just turns into a single x, 1x if you like, but I can just write x. And then to get rid of the take away 2 here, I can add 2 to both sides, and I get 6 equals x, which is the final answer. But just to make it look a little bit neater and read a little bit better, I would probably just switch those over, which you're allowed to do, and write it as x equals 6. That's me done. Good luck if you're going to take on the rest of the goals. You've got the answers. You can ask for help if you need it. Bye for now, everybody.